putting a load of oil on the grill. He's got his hairspray right here. Yeah, baby. It's like roasting in here, but it feels so good because it's cold outside. I love it. Korea is one of the most distinguished food countries in Asia. Though the city of Seoul, South Korea's capital with a population of 10 million, seems to get all the attention. Bro, that's yummy. But what if I told you there was an even better Korean food city, the second biggest in the country? A city on the coast, meaning they offer an extensive list of some of the freshest seafood in Asia, along with some of the most shocking seafood in the world. I did not see that coming. Here, they have fresh air, or as I prefer, air filled with Korean barbecue smoke. Oh man, that's heaven. In this full-length series, you're gonna experience the best food of Busan, South Korea. Woohoo! And it all starts right here at Jagolchi Seafood Market, where all attempt to spend $1,000 on seafood. So let's get started. Boom, we've just stepped foot in the market. There are tons of vendors like this. It's super clean, organized, and actually, it smells pretty good too. Here, one of the first foods that stood out to me, this is a sea cucumber. They're alive. It's in very cold water. These are actually interesting to eat. They have a very rubbery texture, and when you pick it up, they squirt out a little bit of juice. Cute. All right, this one's almost fully deflated. You must be going through a midlife crisis. All right, time to put them back in the water so we can inflate again. There you go, little buddy. Let's keep moving. Boom, we've come to another vendor here. She has so many different things and a lot of different shellfish. Right here, there's a pen shell, the biggest one I've ever seen. They have abalone, sea pineapples, they have Henis fish. It's called kebu. Any idea why they call it that? I mean, just take a look. Oh my God. Oh, it's an active one. Oh no, it got my wife. You bastard. Oh, take a look at this right here. This is the fastest moving abalone I've ever seen trying to make a break for it. I'm rooting for him. You can do it. Get out of this place. Get back to the ocean. Just kidding. Bloop. Dreams destroyed. And then finally here, we have something I love, but I've eaten it out of camera so many times, I don't know if it's worth doing it again, but it's called 산낙지. It's like a baby octopus. 안녕하세요, 아줌마.
엄마 한국말 잘하시네요.
야, 잘할 수 있어요. 이게 뭐예요?
이거는 지금 도다리.
도다리. We stumbled upon a fish I haven't seen in many other countries. It is a flounder, but there's a lot of different flounders. Look at the new flounder hunt, the Little Mermaid. What is that? It looks like it took a special submarine to school when it was younger. It's a weird looking flounder. And so is this. That's the body, but we want to see the face. So it's just like the bastard halibut. It's got two eyeballs on the one side of its head. And then when you flip it, oh, she's getting her net. So you can see it's just like one side has pigmentation, the other side doesn't. So I'm gonna order 2 of these and then we're gonna get some more seafood too. The next step is to take them here and to politely say goodnight. Goodbye. Oh, look at this. She's thrown in some bonus shrimps. Wow. Oh, 감사합니다. We've come to another cool spot with this right here. Lots of cuttlefish. This one, it's the biggest one in the whole market. Oh, wow. Look at this creature. It sounds like an out-of-breath dog. It kind of changes colors a little bit as you touch it. What a remarkable animal. And soon, that definitely live, sentient, gasping creature is going to be turned into sashimi. Sashimi?
sashimi.
이게 얼마예요?
3만 원.
30,000. Wow, that's about what I expected. But I'm gonna spend $1,000. I'm gonna have to spend a lot more money than this. So I've just been told, actually, he's gonna make the sashimi and he's gonna make it right here. Oh, that is the ink sac and everything else all taken out and removed. Looks like we're keeping all of that, but rinsing the ink off. Now that he's got the skin removed, he's gonna peel the outside layer. Alas, the thick cone of the cuttlefish is now being cut thin into a raw sashimi, and you can see the muscles are still spasming, although this creature is long gone and his soul is up in cuttlefish heaven. Come upstairs and it's a very different vibe. Less fish smell, lots of people hanging out, eating, drinking, having a good time. I love it. Here there are tons and tons of kitchens. This is a kitchen we brought our food to and they're gonna make it up right now. Right here we have the cuttlefish legs and these are gonna be boiled or steamed a little bit. And then right here we have the flounder. Those are being salted and cleaned a little bit more and soon they're gonna fry it. Oh, we've got a skillet full of hot oil. Flounder goes on top and a second one right there. Oh, looks like it had a little bit of life left in him. Not anymore. Don't worry, he's dead. Right here we have our first course, and my God, am I excited, because this is a lot of food right here. First of all, to sit down, you don't actually have to pay money for them to cook the food, but you do have to pay 5,000 won per person to be here. And with that 5,000, they will cook the food, but they will also give you some banchan. Banchan are like Korean side dishes. We have some water kimchi, peanuts. Oops, I ate some of those already. Some steamed sweet potato. This is samjang sauce. We have typical kimchi. We have some nice leaves and plants here. We have some chilies and whole garlic pieces. For our protein, we have the sashimi from the cuttlefish. I've never seen sashimi like this, cut down into almost like noodle shapes. Then right here, this is also part of the cuttlefish. This was just simply boiled up here. Here we have the flounder. Now it's looking really different from the flounder on the Little Mermaid. Wow. This meal requires a lot of explanation. Right here, soy sauce. Here, this is gochujang. I'm gonna start with the cuttlefish legs. Oh yeah, the sauce is pretty good. It's spicy, it's a little bit sour too. The meat by now, it is very dense and very chewy. But if you eat it plain, virtually no flavor. I almost choked. Right here, take a look at this. It's like a pasta. I'm gonna hit this with some soy sauce, get it nice and salty. Oh, it's so good. It's different because it's raw, and so it's a little bit slimy. So it kind of slips down your throat while you're eating it. It has a slight seafoodiness to it, but it's virtually flavorless. It's all about the texture. It's very firm and slimy at the same time. This is the flounder. It's cooked in such a way that it's like crispy and fried on the outside, but almost like it's steamed in the center. The problem is, if you take a look, tons and tons of bones. Wait, did I just do something perfectly? Oh, that was pretty good. So I got the bones on one side and the meat on the other side. Give it a dip in the soy sauce. Interesting. Whatever is green on there is extremely bitter. I'm gonna take the skin off. There is just the fish with a little bit of skin, no sauce. It's a very mushy fish. The skin has a good texture. It's fatty. It's just there's something wildly bitter on there, and I don't love it. Look how crispy this is. Give it a little bit of a dip. The best bite, very nice. This is our first course. We're gonna do at least 2 more. The goal is to get to $1,000, but that may not be easy. So far, we're at under $50. From here, I'm gonna go back downstairs and see what more expensive seafood I can find. Meal 1 is complete, and I am back on the ground looking for more seafood, and I've come upon this right here, a whole basket of dangerous black sea urchins. So they have these spikes which they're able to move a bit. You can see its little belly button. I believe they're gonna cut it in half, expose the naked eggs inside, and you can eat it raw. These things are dangerous because you could be in the ocean, swimming, surfing, you step on it, it's gonna go like through your foot. They're little bastards. See, I censored myself. Don't worry about it. So I'm gonna buy this whole basket right here. 1 kilogram, 20,000. That's more than I thought. So right now he's just gonna pack it away, and upstairs they're gonna cook it up for us. We've come to another stall here. The biggest tiger prawns I've ever seen in my life. I mean, look at that. That is like the size of a lobster tail. The word shrimp does not even apply here. They should call it a media. Terrible joke. Wow, 20,000 Korean won. It's wild. I have to buy it. I have to see what it tastes like. All right, bag it, and we'll take it with us. For round 2 right here, we are now going to collect the biggest flatfish we can find. Wow, that one has some acne. This is a very unique fish. You can see the 2 eyes on the one side. It's always just looking up at people's butts and fins. Because of its unique eye configuration, they're known as the bastard halibut. What a cool name. All right, putting it in the basket. Guys, I'm putting my hand on the fish, and I have a big hand. Yeah, go right there, my hand. Look how big that is. You can see the weight right here, almost 3 kilograms. Multiply that by 2.2, and that's our fish. So I just found out the price of this fish is 147,000, a lot more than I expected, but that is a lot of fish. Right here, this is an old Japanese style. He's gonna shove the steel rod into the spine. Now the fish is completely dead, but it's gonna create a reaction from the fish. And I'm told this is gonna make the meat even better, softer, all the good things. Wow, look at the skill and precision. Someone who has done this 1,000 times before. That is a massive fillet right there. So next time we see this guy, it's gonna be cut into little bitty pieces and draped out over a plate or maybe multiple plates. We're gonna need a bigger plate. That's a big fish. Boom, we're back and we're in a brand new kitchen right now. We're about to cook up this shrimp. Let's go. So today our shrimp is gonna get a nice gentle steaming right here in this pot. Next time we see him, he'll be looking nice and pink. Right here we have all of our sea urchins. One by one, they slice them in half, almost breaking them, revealing these big, beautiful eggs inside. After cutting it open, they give it just a little bit of a rinse, and then that is gonna go on our platter, and we're gonna try it out soon. We have our second course right here, and the most expensive so far. It's actually more than this. Hold on, there's another plate. It's also this plate. We just don't have room on the table to put it all. Of course, we have the banchan. Moving on from there, we have the sea urchin, and then right here we have the biggest shrimp I have ever seen, and that is where I'm gonna begin. I'm gonna pull out this whole side of shrimp and take a look at that. That is a freaking tiger prawn right there, folks. This is samjang sauce. Samjang is a combination of red chili paste and fermented soybeans. Then we have sesame seeds and sesame oil. I'm gonna mix all that up together. I'm gonna smear that to add some flavor onto our shrimp. I'm gonna try it out. Oh yeah, a very nice sauce combination. It's super salty. It's got a little bit of kick. The sesame oil makes it smoky and deep flavored. White bite. Right here we have the sea urchin. It's a little dangerous to pick it up. I was hoping they would cut these needles off a little bit, but they have not. So that is a load of eggs. As far as I can tell, they've not done anything to the sea urchin except for cut it open. Creamy, oceanic, bit of brininess, a little woody, earthy almost. So it is good plain, but I want to see what happens if you add some of this oil onto here. Cheers. Wow, new level. It's nutty, it's smoky, it's got a great seafood brininess to it. It seems like an ideal seafood for drinking if you have beer, if you have soju. Our final food is the sashimi. The color of its flesh, it's not purely white, it's not purely red, it's got different shades and tones. Some are more translucent and some are more pale white and opaque. The first bite, I don't want to flavor enhance it at all. I just want to taste the full halibut flavor. Let's go. Super clean flavor. It's got some bounce to that meat. They've given me some wasabi and some soy sauce. Give it a little bit of a mix. Grab another couple. Give it a little bit of a dip. Soy sauce and wasabi together join hands and they elevate this dish to a new level. It's so good. All right, from here, I am gonna consume literally everything you see here and nothing will go to waste. And then I will get our last and most expensive course yet. Let's go. Right here, we stumbled upon one of the most expensive seafoods you'll find at this market. These are gigantic crabs. This one is, notice the claws are not banded. You gotta be careful, and this guy is very much feisty and alive. Okay, he said just lift it from the back, but just don't be a puss. Boom, here we got it. This is a snow crab. Different from a king crab. You'll see the body doesn't get quite as big. The legs are long, but a little bit thinner, and it is ferocious. It wants to crush me. As big as this is a little guy. We're gonna put him down. This is what I'm really interested in today. This right here is the king crab. A crab so big and so near death, it can't muster the strength to try to pinch me. Now, can you? Wait, are you alive? Hey, what's that now? Yeah, he's okay. He's taking a nap. Price for 1 kilogram is 75,000 won. Multiply that by 3, that is 225,000 won for this whole thing right here. Last time I had something this size in Vietnam, it was almost $400. So I'm looking at this like it's a discount bin purchase. Not bad at all. Let's go upstairs and try them out. Right? Time for your pain to end. Isn't that fantastic? This is its final resting place right here. This is a very cool technology here. She has a kitchen hose so she can fill up pots. I've seen a lot of hose in my life, but never a kitchen hose. Next time we see that crab, it's gonna be looking bright orange and succulent. I cannot wait. We've got the king crab, that's boiling, but I wanna get one more food, something that I've tried before, but never in Korea. First of all, these are the biggest freaking oysters I've ever seen in my life. Do I wanna eat a giant oyster? No. Here, big old blood cockles with the tongue sticking out. And then we have clams here, and then a few different types of snails. Now, if you watched my videos before, you know I've had so many different types of snails, especially in Vietnam, but I've never had Korean sauces mixed with this kind of meat, and I'm excited to see what that would taste like. Those are not cheap. It turns out $5 per snail, 20 for 4. Check it out. We've got our full king crab right here, and she's about to take it apart. Oh my God, she just did like a suplex on that. That's like an MMA move. From here, you could see that big head full of crab soup. The whole body is steaming beautifully. I don't know what that is, but she just pulled that out. Now she's cutting it up and putting that back on the plate as well. Off with the legs, leaving all the hip meat in the body. The claw here, she kind of pre-cuts for me, so it's easy to get into. This is all the waste and the gills and the stuff we do not want to eat. But that, my friend, we're definitely gonna be dining on shortly. Right here, we have our third and final round, and my gosh, this place got real busy. Those are people who are like on a race to get effed up right now. I might as well join them. Right here, we have a whole flippin' king crab, and then right here, 4 snails. As I thought, they just did a simple boiling. This is our red chili paste. Let's go for it. Oh wow, that poop sack was still soft and kind of room temp, but the snail itself was delicious, meaty, slightly rubbery in the best way possible, and then mixed with this sauce, rather than being fresh and refreshing, it's kind of a bold, intense experience. The snail, I give it a pass. There's so many people here and everyone seems panicked about food. Next, and finally, Next and finally, we have the king crab right here. This looks just extraordinary. All right, so we're gonna take out that tendon and open up the biggest piece right here. Oh man, it's Tonino sauce. It's so sweet, fatty, and delicious. Here's the other half. When you steam it, the fat kind of bubbles up and boils to the outside. I gotta say, it's cooled down a bit and it's still delicious. At this point, I'm not reviewing anything, I'm just eating. Hold on, this is for my wife. Next right here, we have a giant claw. It's very thick. She's cut it a bit. Take that out. You should be able to scoop this meat out. What I'm told is that some people here actually like to eat this with soy sauce. So I'm gonna give it a little bit of a dip. You know, as an American, we just get used to eating all this type of seafood with butter and that's it. That's so much better than I ever expected. It has all the saltiness from butter, but none of that overwhelming richness. It's so good. This has been 3 rounds of seafood. I cannot do any more than this. The goal of this video was to see if I could spend $1,000 on seafood in one day here in Busan, South Korea. So now I need to add up everything we ate for the entire day and see if I got even close to $1,000.
If you're trying to spend big money on food in Korea, don't go to the seafood market. Instead, go get some Korean barbecue. Next, I plan to indulge in Korea's cheapest Korean barbecue buffet.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Then, I'll go to this country's most expensive barbecue restaurant with prices that'll make that king crab look cheap.
Wow, guys, this is what $423 looks like.
Let's get started.
Well, welcome to our first destination. This place is called Manso, and they have an insane buffet deal here. $16,900. That is a little bit less than $13 for all you can eat meat. Let's go inside and check it out. 안녕하세요. 이거 주세요. 무한 리필. Yeah. So I just ordered from the menu right here. There are 2 different types of buffets you can do, pork buffet or a beef buffet. But if you're trying to save money in Korea, you're gonna be eating pork. What's nice is they initially bring you a bunch of side dishes. Then if you want refills or if you want more, you can go get it yourself. We've got a salad, some onions, kimchi, garlic, samjang sauce, and more. I don't know how a place like this makes any money because that is incredibly cheap. Oh my God, look. Remember earlier I was trying to figure out how they afford these low prices? Well, it turns out it's because they don't have to hire humans. They have robots serve over the food. Here we have samgyeopsal, mushrooms, pork skin, some moksal, lots of different dishes. Thank you, robot. You did well. Leave. Do I need to stroke you or something? I gotta say, similar personality to our actual server. They were both wearing a mask, I couldn't tell them apart. Right now we have our meat, we have the side dishes they brought us. I'm gonna get some of my own side dishes and we're still waiting for the fire. It's a lot that has to come together to make this work. Let me show you what they got here. All you can eat of everything. First of all, a big old glooping container of samjang sauce. Here we have a classic Korean Italian pasta. So that's elbow macaroni, mayonnaise, and corn. Very nice. Here we have garlic, kimchi, onions with soy vinegar sauce, some pickled radish, more onion, green onion, and then we have even more stuff on this side. I've never seen this at any barbecue in Korea before. Different flavored salt. We have wasabi salt, garlic salt, curry salt, and Himalayan salt too. On this side, some vegetables to put on the grill. Squash, zucchini, potatoes, chilies, 3 different types of greens. We have a plant called bracken, which I've never even heard of before in English. I'm gonna scoop up some side dishes, sit down, and let's eat. Right here we have the most common, affordable meat you're gonna find in all of Korea. It's called samgyeopsal, and it is the pork belly. It's kind of like a thick bacon, except for it's not cured. All right, our first course is right here. It's looking crispy and delicious. I'm just gonna hit it with some wasabi salt. I've never had wasabi salt before. Let's see how it tastes. Oh, that's good. It is just bursting with porky goodness. The wasabi salt is not a strong wasabi flavor, but I like it. It's creative, it's interesting. Here's how I would typically eat something like this. A little bit of garlic, maybe some onions, a little bit of kimchi, samjang sauce. Then we put in our meat, and that right there is like a little flavor package ready to go to heaven. Oh man, that's heaven. The thing with Korean barbecue is if you find a good place with the right side dishes, you don't need expensive meat. I could just eat this samgyeopsal and be pretty satisfied because I can mix and match it with so many different flavors. This is our second course right here. They actually brought us some thinly sliced beef. Putting that beef directly over that pork fat, now that is haram. I can't wait to try it out. So I've got my beef right here, looking crispy, fatty, delicious. Cheers. Oh. wrong. It doesn't even have to be a good cut or a good quality cow. This could be a cow that did drugs, that was homeless. What's important here is they've cut the beef so thin, it's impossible for it to not be tender and melting in your mouth. Sorry, I was supposed to say an unhoused cow. Now the cows will not be offended. We have a few more cuts here. These are both neck meat. This is just like a Vienna sausage. I'm not gonna get into that, but this right here is skin. Now the skin has already been cooked, so we need to recook it to get it crunchy over the fire. Our pig skin is finished. It's popping like popcorn. This is a peanut powder. You're supposed to just put a bit on there. That's gonna give it a peanutty flavor. Cheers. It's delicious. The peanut dust gives it like a little bit of an earthy flavor. I think the star of this dish is how gummy the skin is. Like eating sheets of collagen. Oh yeah, that's good. So this has been our inexpensive location. To me, it's unbelievable. Less than $13 for all the meat you can eat. There are a ton of sides up there. The meat is delicious. There's service from robots. What more could you ask for? Let's find out. Because next we're gonna go to the most expensive Korean barbecue I could find in this country. You ready? Let's go. Alas, we've come to our final destination, the most expensive restaurant we could find here in Busan. Perhaps the most expensive in all of Korea. NANI? I'm talking a place that dignitaries go, presidents, popes, Russian gangsters. What stands out to me first is that the building from the outside looks really boring. Because real wealth knows when it's rich. It doesn't have to show off. You look at Flava Flav compared to Mark Zuckerberg. One of them wears a t-shirt and has billions of dollars. This is barbecue like you've never seen before. Let's get into it. First thing I notice as I walk in is a huge wall of their wine selection. Now, almost every place you get barbecue in Korea, they're gonna have beer and maybe different types of soju, but it's not that common to find a big wine selection, so I'm really excited about that. Let's keep moving. Here is the meat. So there's a guy inside. This guy is a maestro with the meat. Come take a look at the way this meat has been cut. Do you see how it's like a lattice shape? It looks fantastic, and it's gonna make it even more juicy and even more delicious after it hits that grill. From here, we're about to head to our private room. Let's go. We are inside, I've got the menu, and this thing is a beauty. Immediately, I'm drawn to the prices. For example, this, a T-bone steak is 75,000 won. So that's not too bad, and then you realize that's for 100 grams. It's not that much meat. A pound of meat here would cost around $250, $300. Pretty expensive. We're not starting with the meat. I'm gonna start with a drink. I'm gonna get a bottle of wine, because it is noon on a Monday. Then, I'll be able to make a decision about what to grill. The banchan has arrived. These are our little Korean side dishes. Oh, wow, really beautiful. And then this right here is going on the fire immediately. That looks like a welcome bite. Oh, and there's the wine. I've never brought wine, but no wine opener. Maybe she went to go get that. Maybe it's up to me. All right, I've got a chopstick, I have a wine glass, I have a spoon, I have a cup. How can I open this wine bottle? Boom, we've got our wine open. It's brilliant. Let's try out some of the food they brought here. First of all, here, this is a yukjeon, a meat pancake. Let's try it out. Greasy and delicious. Here, I think this is an egg. Let's try that. Oh, that's really good. Let's try some of this right here, our first real taste of meat. I'm just gonna hit this with a little bit of salt and pepper. It's salty, it's a little sweet, it tastes of soy sauce. That's how you make someone feel welcome. I don't need someone to pour my wine for me. I need someone to bring a little tiny boiling bowl full of meat. This is a great way to start the meal. From here, I'm gonna order my first course. And before I even get something to grill, I wanna order caviar, and I wanna order Korean-style raw beef, yukhae. So it turned out they don't actually have the raw beef here, but what they do have is cow foot jelly, and that's what this is right here. I mean, just take a look at that. You can see the texture of it is so bizarre. It's like a jelly that they made from boiling the cow feet. Cheers to cow feet. It has like a meaty but jello-y, sticky texture to it. Funky but lovely at the same time. Now, this is a Russian caviar, so that's how you know it's good. Do I have mixed feelings about supporting Russia during this time? I'm mainly focused on the caviar, so no, I can't say I do. Cheers. That's really nice. A little briny, fatty, sticky. I would say very decent quality. From here, I want to order some meat to finally put on the grill. You'll see soon. Right Right here we have beef brisket and beef tongue, 100 grams of each. So you can see it's not a lot of volume. She's put clay plates onto the burner and then she's just kind of glazed it with a little bit of fat. All of the brisket goes in. Here, this is some sort of kimchi that she puts on. Now she's taking the beef and actually wrapping it around the kimchi. Some kimchi inside, beef on the outside. Cheers, my first bite. Oh yeah, kimchi is so fermented and almost stinky. The beef is so oily, but it tastes incredible. This is real wasabi. 99% of the wasabi that you find in supermarkets is fake because the wasabi plant is expensive and it's a finicky plant to grow. The difference is you could eat a clump like this and it's not gonna melt your brainstem. I'm gonna put it on the beef and let's try it out. It's decadent, so rich. The wasabi is a nice contrast in flavor. It's so delicious. Oh yeah, cook up that tongue. It only needs 10 or 15 seconds on each side. He said put some of the green onion on there, put some wasabi, and some salt and pepper. That tongue is ready for my tongue. Oh, it's so springy. It's like something between a heart and lungs. So that should be pretty relatable right there. I used to get the cow tongue and I used to think like, oh, where was this cow? Who was he licking? Who was he in a relationship with? And then I learned to not think about weird things all the time. From here, I need to bring out the big guns. I am looking for the most expensive thing on the menu. It's gonna be a variety of meats that they choose, and it's coming in at 560,000 Korean won. This is such an irresponsible use of company funds. Let's eat some beef. Wow, guys, this is what $423 looks like. I thought it would be bigger, to be honest. You can see the meat is like dark red, tons of intermuscular fats. I cannot wait to sink my teeth into this. We have our first cut right here. This is the eye fillet. It looks fantastic. I'm gonna give it just a little bit of a dab in the salt and pepper, throw it back. Shut the front door. Oh, it's almost like a mini crust. That sear on the outside is so perfect. So this is Hanwoo beef, and that's part of why it's so expensive. It is like the Wagyu of Korea. The only thing is, Japan has a lot better marketing team when it comes to their beef than Korea does. Because I've only heard of Hanwoo in Korea, and that's it. We're on to our next meat right here. This is the inside skirt. Different from upskirt, which is a type of photography made popular in Japan. I'm gonna give it just a little dab of salt and pepper. Here we go. Not softer, more firm, definitely more oil and juices popping out too. Really different texture, soft but chewy. What's fascinating here is there are so many flavor enhancing options, but with steak this expensive, you want the flavor of the beef to shine through. And man, let me tell you, it's shining. Right here we have our fourth course. This cut here is known as the beef flap tail, and it seems like it's kind of a trend among food reviewers in Korea to eat some of their barbecue raw, so why not? Cheers. It's not bad. You can feel the fat melting on your tongue. I mean, that's good quality beef. I like it. Very nice. So she did seem very concerned about cooking the steak too much after she saw me eat a piece raw.
Get it.
It's gonna be my first time comparing the raw version to the slightly more cooked version. Cheers. It's so good. I prefer it cooked a little bit more. This has a delicious buttery taste to it. It is so rich. Every bite you take, more of this intramuscular fat is spilling out of the meat and just kind of gliding down your throat. It's like A5 Wagyu. This is A5 Hanwoo. We are down to our final meat. Right here we have Korean ribs. Koreans are the masters of ribs. Because what they do is they take the beef bone, they cut it, and then they slice it until it becomes this long blanket of meat. It's just like an accordion. This looks stunning, it looks delicious. It's the most popular thing they have right here. Time to try it out. Juicy, smoky, and a unique texture that you can only get by cutting it in this very unique way. It's like they created more space for the meat to get exposed to heat, where the juices and the oils start leaking out, and it makes it softer and a little bit more tender as you eat it. This has been a meat journey. What I can tell you is that this was a delicious experience. Now, aside from being a delicious experience, this is a very expensive experience. This is absolutely the most I've ever spent on barbecue, I think, anywhere, and certainly the most I've ever spent here in South Korea. Please don't tell my wife, even though she's filming right now. Babe, earmuffs.
After spending my future child's college money on barbecue, I'm starting to feel a bit of buyer's remorse. You see, in Korea, you don't have to spend a lot of money in order to have a mouth-popping experience. So, I'm leaving the high life and joining the masses at Bupyeong Night Market, where I plan to document the cheapest yet most delicious street food in this city. Let's move.
So we've come to a very typical street food stall here in South Korea. The first thing you'll notice when you come here is the steam rising off of this tank right here. This is odang. Odang is essentially like a fish sausage. I couldn't decide what to order, so I got a little bit of everything. Right here we have tteokbokki, pounded rice cakes, fish cakes, and all of it smothered in a red chili paste. That is some big tteokbokki. Usually they're much smaller and thinner. Let's try it out.
I've been thinking about you, boy.
It's so chewy. I swear to God, the flavor of the red chili paste sauce is so addictive. It's slightly sour, it's super salty, and then kind of spicy too. This is some odang. And for some reason, that red chili paste goes really well with the kind of fishy broth that's on that flat fish sheet. I couldn't tell you why that's so satisfying, but it is. It has a great consistency. It's almost like when you open up the fridge and you're like kind of hungry, but not super hungry, so you peel off a piece of bologna and eat that alone. It's the fish version of that. Right here we have our second dish. This is called byungtaejeon. This is a fish pancake made from pollock. Look how gigantic that is. It's like layers and layers of fish pancake. If you come to Busan, you have to get seafood whenever possible, and this is one such situation. Let's go for it. I think frying it on the flat top has firmed it up a bit. It is extremely oily and very heavy. Here, the edges right here, this is more fish and breading together. That's a nice bite right there. This is a food that requires you to take your time a little bit more, because if you go quickly, oh, see, like right here, that is actually a fin sticking out. You gotta be careful, you're gonna choke to death. I got a bone right here. In Korea, they say, if you're choking on a bone, just eat some rice. It'll push it all down, except for, I don't have any rice here. Right here is our third and final dish. So this is called bibimbapmyeon. So if you know bibimbap, it is like a kind of a salad of a number of different things that you mix together with rice. Here, the rice has been replaced with, looking at menu, dangmyeon, a glass noodle. We've got some boiled greens in there, some radish, lots of that red chili paste. Mix thoroughly until the color of the noodles changes completely, and then take a bite. Oh Lord, it's very good. The noodles have a great chewy texture to them. It tastes like there's some sesame oil in there because it's smoky inside. There's some mushrooms, there's some vegetables mixed in there, but mainly it's a carb bomb. If you're running a half marathon the next day, this is a great place to carb up. These are some of my favorite types of places in Korea. The food is not separated in some kitchen in the back. Everything is right in your face. The other great thing is if you want to eat something and you're hungry and you just want to go for it, you can just grab a stick of odang like this, take a bite, and they'll charge you when you're done. No big deal. If you're coming to Korea for the first time, you have to come to a place like this, sit down, and just point to what you want. Chances are you're not going to be disappointed. This is stop one. We have a lot more to see. Let's keep moving.
I'ma rule the world, I'ma rule the world, yeah, yeah. I'ma rule the world, I'ma rule the world, yeah.
So we have come to the actual Bupyeong market, which is wild. It is a bunch of carts in this narrow corridor, and they have a sign up here that says keep to the right. So there's a lot of pressure because you need to kind of keep moving, and if you stop in front of a stall like I'm doing, people might get upset. But I have a job to do. I got to do what I got to do. It's the first cart I saw, and it looks fantastic. This is fried steak cut super thin. First they put it in the flour, then they put it in an egg bath, and then that hits the grill right there. So that is going to cook on each side. They're going to prepare it with some of these greens, and at the end, it's going to look just like that. Fantastic. Guys, let's go eat. Right here is our official first dish of this Bupyeong market. This market is interesting. What are my honest thoughts? This is a fun market for people who love to non-stop make physical contact with other people who they don't know. The only thing making up for it is that this food actually looks pretty unique and pretty delicious. This right here costs 11,000 Korean won. It's fried, but it's still flexible. We have an assortment of vegetables, a small salad on the side, if you will. But let's just get right into that meat. Cheers. Fatty, juicy, certainly not crispy or anything like that. This is more like an omelet coating a steak. It is very heavy though, and she was being generous with the oil she's putting on there. We'll try some of the vegetables. A typical sweet Korean onion salad, a very nice, refreshing combination. It's fun, it's a great start to our anxiety-induced night. Let's go. Right here we've come to the fried food section. They have 3 distinctly different meats that you could choose from. Right here, this is fried chicken skin. Not even meat, it's just the skin. It looks incredible. Then they have 2 more seafood selections I want to try here. First of all, this is something I've seen a lot in Southeast Asia, but never in Korea. It's a crab fried whole, and you eat the whole thing. The claws, the legs, the body, everything. And then here they have coconut shrimp. Big, plump, looking absolutely juicy, fine, and thick. I'm not going to eat that here. I'm going to take that, I'm going to leave the chaos and go eat it alone, like I usually do on a Friday night, until I convince someone to marry me. Haha. We have our first food right here. This costs 10,000 Korean won. In USD, it's this much on the screen. Okay, now you got it. This is the coconut shrimp. You can see the coconut on the outside. It looks delicious. Let's try it out. Oh yeah. delicious. It's got a thick, crunchy coating on the outside. The wonderful taste of coconut is greasy, it's heavy, and that seems to be a bit of a theme for the food here so far, or maybe that's just what I've been attracted to. When I think coconut shrimp, I think like a tropical location. I think the Caribbean or Jamaica. I don't usually think Busan, South Korea, but maybe this is where coconut shrimp was invented. White caps? Right here we have our second fried food. This is the little crabbies. We'll not make a joke about crabs. We'll not make a joke about crabs. They look very crunchy. I do like how breaded they look, because sometimes they can fry these and not put any breading, so definitely have been battered a bit. Let me try it out. Oh, it's pretty good. It's so easy to eat. It's like the potato chips of the sea. It's super heavy and greasy, but it almost feels like they stuffed meat into the body of the crab. It doesn't even seem natural. Let me break one of these open for you to see. It's so full of meat. Overall delicious, 8 out of 10, but it needs a sauce. Even if it had ketchup, something tangy, something sweet, it needs something to go with it. But the crab meat inside is a very nice touch. Woohoo! We've come to our next location, and now I'm very excited because here they have lobster, but they put some kind of artificial crab inside of the lobster. This is a carapace of a crab, and he's put cheese and potentially crab meat inside of there. Right now we're gonna order and then see how it's made. All right, right here you can see the stuffing of the lobster. He puts in some mock crab going inside of real lobster. Then right here we have the crab heads with some crab meat, some cheese, some butter, and then some fake crab inside of that too. Now the butter is going on top of everything. These have a lot of butter for sure. There's no doubt about that. More cheese going inside of my crab heads. Putting a load of oil on the grill. He's got his hairspray right here. Yeah, baby! It's like roasting in here, but it feels so good because it's cold outside. I love it. Okay, so this is food number 7. I'm not sure, I lost count already. Every time you come to Korea and you come to one of these street food streets, you will find some guy with cheese, seafood, and fire. And at last, I have found him. This guy is making something truly unique. So we have all these different parts of the lobster cut in half. Of course, we got one claw, half a tail, half a body, but then there's kind of a weird seafood salad made into the body, stuffed inside of there. He's also created his own sauce, that white sauce. It looked like mayonnaise to me. And he had a tangy red sauce. He had tons of oil. He had mounds of butter. A pretty nice flavor. Slightly overcooked, a little tough, to be fair. He did drop a napalm bomb on it from about 50,000 feet. Oh, the tail is even kind of pre-ripped out and cut up. Maybe it cooks faster that way. And maybe it's easier to eat. Smoky. I can taste the gasoline. Whatever he has in a hairspray bottle, I can taste it. It tastes a little bit like acetylene. By the way, the 13,000 Korean won, which is roughly 10 bucks. That's not that bad. Now we have the body. So if you peel it back, these are real eggs from inside the lobster. Then this is that fake crab meat that he's put inside. So we want that combination. Wow, look at that bite. That is an unusual seafood salad. What an odd combination of flavors. The eggs are kind of rubbery, a little fishy. The crab is sweet, of course. And then all of it's just covered in mayonnaise, cheese, sauce. It's oily, it's greasy, but somehow light and delicious. That is an awesome creation. And I think absolutely worth that price. So right here we have the crab head, eyeballs bugging out. Inside, there's meat, there's cheese, there's fake meat, and then even more cheese. And it doesn't even look like all the cheese melted. There's mayonnaise too. And I can't believe this is less than $5 for what we have right here. And it's served inside a real animal head. Cheers. It's really good. It's deep and it's full of stuff. It's hard to tell like what is cheese, what is meat, what is sauce. There's certainly a lot of fillers, and most of the meat is fake crab meat anyways, but still, you're eating it from an animal's head. The mad seafood scientist, striking once again. I like this guy. I was wondering why he was wearing a mask at first until I realized all he's doing all night is breathing in fumes. It's only 8:30 p.m. This guy is high as a kite already. We've stumbled upon our next food. We're going strong with the meat, and we've got more meat right here. These are like giant meatball logs covered in bacon. They're spicy and not so spicy. The more you buy, the cheaper it gets. So it's 1 for $4, but you could get 3 for $10. So it says scotchy egg. Oh, so it's a Scotch egg. Okay, let's try it out. Let's get the spicy one. So he puts on 2 different types of sauce. Then that's gonna get the torch. Wow, you can see the bacon sizzling on the outside. That is definitely haram. Put that in a little bit of a cup. Then that's gonna get cut and quartered. From here, dressings. A mysterious white sauce, and then some greens to go on top. That is complete. 감사합니다. Right here we have a Korean Scotch egg. But what is a Scotch egg? I will tell you from my memory. A Scotch egg is a boiled egg wrapped in sausage meat, coated in breadcrumbs and baked or deep fried. So this is the Korean version of that. There is indeed an egg in the middle. I know because I asked. Then a layer of meat, and then instead of breadcrumbs or anything like that, they put bacon on the outside and they sauce it up like crazy. You would would think that the torching would have done more to it, because actually it's very cold. Just moments ago, the bacon was sizzling, and now it's just kind of room temp, but the taste is good. It tastes like way over-seasoned hamburger meat or like a meat loaf around the egg. It's hard to taste the bacon because that sauce is so strong and powerful. Another bite? Oh. Overall, I like it. I find it to be creative, innovative, and fun. It's a fun take on a classic food from another country. They just did their way with their ingredients and their flavors and an S-load of sauce. Let's keep moving. As long as we're trying classic food from other countries, let's try what this man has right here. It is Vietnamese banh xeo made the Korean way. What does that look like? I'm about to find out. The dish starts right here. We have a thick batter going on top of oil, and then even more oil. My God, that is half oil, half batter. I'm told just like in Vietnam, he's using rice flour. But I gotta tell you, in Vietnam, they use about that much oil. So basically, it's deep fried at this point. The next step, we've got some green onions going on, sliced onion, some bean sprouts. Right here, we have pork coming from the grill. Right here, the epic flip, closing it all inside. So the next step is to cut it into 4 pieces so it's manageable. A few shrimpies go on next. So here we have a lot of fish sauce going on and a load of sweet chili and then a peanut sauce going on top. All right, 감사합니다. Right here we have Korean banh xeo, something I never thought I would say in my life. This is very different from a typical banh xeo. The typical banh xeo would be on a wok. It would have a little bit of oil. This is a record-breaking amount of oil. He kind of has all the same ideas, essentially. He's got pork, he's got shrimp, he's got the rice flour batter, but it's like you typed banh xeo into an AI image creator and then it spit that out. What? And it was like, we kind of didn't get it. It is just a deluge of sauce, but it picks up pretty good with the chopstick. All right, my first taste of Korean banh xeo. Let's try it. Very crunchy, and from sitting on that griddle, on that flat top, it's gotten a bit smoky too. The sauce on top is what's really sweet. Wow, it's a pool of fish sauce. Actual fish could swim in this. I actually kind of like the flavors. It's crispy. It has like a nice balance of vegetables. There's a ton of pork in there. An irresponsible amount of sauce, but I still like it. Is it just like the Vietnamese banh xeo? Not even close. But this man made this his own. Bean sprouts, shrimpies, sauce. The best part is the price for this, less than $5 for this whole dish right here. And trust me, this is enough calories to last for about 2.5 days.
Street foods like tteokbokki or odang are extremely popular, meaning they can be found pretty much everywhere. But next, I'm on a mission to hunt down some of Busan's rarest seafood offerings.
It's so slimy.
From wildly controversial whale meat shops,
Wow.
to a plate of shrimp that costs over $200.
It's like $20 per shrimp.
It all starts with the ugliest fish in the sea.
We have come to our first location. 안녕하세요, 아줌마. 이름이 뭐예요? 한국말로? omjang. These are ugly-looking eel-type creatures. The way they're prepared, it might scare you a little bit because they still writhe and wriggle a little bit even though the head is removed. Actually, I'm not sure if they removed the head or not. We're about to find out. Oh, wow. So in the back, you can see the tail is kind of flat, like a butter knife. And then, oh, thank you. Oh, they're really slimy. Look at that bizarre, wormy, noodly face. Oh, God. Looks like it just had a wet dream. Oh, my hands are never gonna get clean. I'm never gonna recover from this financially or emotionally. Wow. I want to end my life right now. Oh. So right now she's gonna show us how she actually takes the skin off the animal. She actually puts a needle through its head, puts that through the cutting board. She makes such quick work of this, slicing down the body, peeling the meat away from the skin. These little bits that look kind of like rice grains are eggs, I'm told. And that right there is the delicious hagfish meat. These are not alive. And in fact, these right here can keep moving for up to 7 hours, I'm told. Wow, this, I mean, I just look at it and my mouth is watering. It looks so good. All right, we have our fish right here. They're gonna be put upon the grill. Oh, wow. Yeah, this is more than I bargained for. This seems difficult to cook. I've never had a situation where the fish was actually still escaping the cooking vessel while being cooked, even though it had long since passed away. I gotta say, it doesn't smell that great. It smells like burnt fish, but that doesn't mean it can't taste great. From here, she has the scissors and she's cutting them down to little bite-sized pieces. Wow, this actually looks like a giant cow penis. Right now she's put on some tinfoil. She said it's actually a bit easier to cook with the tinfoil on there. Perhaps it disperses the heat more evenly. She's cut all of it into the tiny little bite-sized pieces with the scissors, and then now she's just roasting it, flipping them one by one, just like typical Korean barbecue. She said, give me your hands. She put on the sangchu, some lettuce, other kind of lettuce, piece of raw garlic. Oh, and she just put the fish into sesame oil, and then she said put on some samjang sauce.
다 이래가 먹으면
All right, so she said wrap it up and friggin' eat it and stop talking. Wonderful.
맛있어요.
That has raw garlic and sesame oil and the samjang sauce. So there's a lot of potent flavors being mixed in with the meat. So right here we have just the fish, this white part sticking out here. She said it's just part of the muscle. Huh. What muscle is that? She said at least give it like a swipe through the sesame oil. Look at that steamy hagfish. It looked so ugly a little bit ago. Now it still looks terrifying. Cheers. Whoa, that's actually pretty decent. It has a really chewy texture. The meat is not really fishy at all. It almost tastes like pork. This is like the tail. Whoa. The tail is a little bit less meaty, a little bit more crunchy, almost like a tendon, but really nice. This is a neck. There's this cut that they love in Korea. It's like pig neck, and it's just like that, where it's like a really dense, fatty, delicious meat. 깜짝이야. Wow. The hagfish, it has a brutal sounding name. It looks intense, it's very slimy, but in the end, tastes pretty good. 감사합니다.
감사합니다.
She's like, now leave. For our next restaurant, I need to be a little bit secretive. This is not only an exotic food, but a very controversial food here in Korea. I'm talking about whale meat.
Whale hunting in South Korea is strictly prohibited. However, there's a loophole when it comes to consuming whale meat. It's allowed if the meat comes from accidental catches, or if the species can be verified.
Now, I'm told that the animals here, the whale is not endangered, but some of the whale that was brought into this country was done so illegally.
South Korean fishermen have been taking advantage of this bycatch loophole by legally selling whale meat that they claimed accidentally was caught in their fishing nets. However, research has shown that recent bycatch numbers are far above normal, a situation that has stirred controversy in South Korea.
Most of these whale restaurants do not want you to film their restaurant. So we're still gonna ask permission, and if they say we can, as just cool tourists hanging out here in Busan, then we'll do that. So I'm told this is from the mink whale. It's like blubber, it's a fat. And then she just kind of slices thin slices. So I'm told that's the tail meat. And this is kind of from the back of the neck. Wow, that's big. I'm told this is a hard piece of meat. It's a free upgrade. And this is some soft stomach part of the whale. So they give us a million different parts here. Here's the situation. I spoke to the woman outside, very nice lady. I don't intend on showing her face or revealing which restaurant is hers because we don't actually have proper permission to shoot inside of here. But that being said, you know, just an American guy and his Vietnamese wife and his Korean guide out for some whale. Nothing unusual about that. To be honest, it doesn't look that good. That is the skin. Then there's a big 1.5 inches of fat, roughly. If you're a whale, you're a big creature in cold water. You need a lot of blubber around you to keep you warm. So that is what all that fat is. And then there's protein after that. I'm told, let me just put it in here. A little bit of salt. Let's try it out. Wow. Put some garlic back. Oh, it's so fatty, greasy, fermented tasting. I'm not sure why people would opt to eat this. It tastes pretty bad. Flavors are stuck to the back of my throat now. She did give us different types of pieces. So here's another type. They said to put just a little bit. There's special secret sauce. That was a bit drier, less fatty, less intense. Just a little bit more like jerky. Not so strong tasting. Here's another different type of cut. I'm gonna hit it with just the salt. Cheers. Everything is better than that really fatty one I had. It's a different experience from what I had in Faroe Islands. This is all just fatty pieces. There's no like steak or protein here, where in Faroe they had a balance of like skin, fat, and protein. So it's a wild experience. I don't know how much longer we can keep pretending we're making a vacation video. I think we need to wrap it up before they get too suspicious. Anyways, that has been whale meat filmed secretly in Busan, South Korea. We have left the whale restaurant and we found something new and interesting. Let me back up a second. This place outside the main market has a really fascinating, cool vibe to it. It's like all these little houses with maybe 2 or 3 tables each. They have a bit of seafood. You can choose the seafood that you want and they'll cook it up right there. Here, we stumbled upon another such place. They have something I want to show you. Now, this isn't the most odd, unusual thing in the world, but the way they prepare it is really unique. Hold on. 도와주세요. 이거. Now, first of all, you gotta work smart, not hard. She takes the basket out of the water, and then she uses a knife to peel this off of the basket. 감사합니다. Now that is a succulent, delicious, interesting looking abalone. You can see the shape of it is actually contoured to the basket, and then that shape is also a pretty unique shape too. for no reason. So we've all seen abalone before, it's no big deal. But if they cook it the way I'm hoping for, we have a tantalizing visual treat in store for us. So right here, I've ordered 4 abalone. They've just plucked them out and they're taking them inside. Wow. Give them a little bit of a bath. Wow, they clean up nice. We're not just here for the abalone, we're also here for this. This is called a dog shark, and they don't cook it, they don't steam it. Actually, here, they're gonna make a shark sashimi. The shark is right here. She's got the net. Look at that, beautiful creature. Very thin. It doesn't seem like we're gonna get that much meat off there. So we're gonna have to get 2. She only has 1 good arm right now. Can she do this? Oh my God. All right, well, when you've got 1 good arm, that is how you kill a shark. Once the shark is stripped down, it looks like this, and there is not a lot of meat remaining. At this point, it seems they've scraped off pretty much everything. I'm told it's gonna be sashimi, but with the bones, and it seems it would have to be because that's about all that's remaining at this point. Here we go. She's brought over the abalone. Oh, this is what I'm talking about. They are just wiggling back and forth in their shell as the heat creeps in and penetrates the shell. They're trying to escape their shell, but you know, they can't because they're connected to it. We just asked how long is it gonna take for them to cook all the way through, and they said, soon. She's saying it's cooked enough of the way through. She's gonna cut it off now. So each one, just like a snail, has a little poop sack. Ah, that's the mouthpiece. She's cutting that off too. So from here, she's just gonna cut it down into little bitty bite-sized pieces. Right here, we have all the meat. It's looking fantastic. Some of these pieces are feeling a bit more firm, dense, and finished. The dipping options are red chili sauce, or we have sesame oil with a little bit of salt inside. I'm gonna give it a little bit of a dip in the sesame oil. Cheers. Overall, good. I got another piece here. I'm gonna put a little bit less oil on it. Wow, right now it's kind of like medium rare. So some parts are a little bit more dense and some parts are a little bit like an oyster almost, really soft. The flavor is really clean. You mix it with a little bit of the sesame oil, it's just salty, it's smoky. It's really good overall. For me, the most fascinating part of eating abalone like this is just seeing the way they prepare it. You're literally watching them like trying to crawl out of their shell and they can't. Too brutal? I'm not sure. I don't think abalone even have brains. Hey Siri, do abalone have brains? Abalone don't have brains as we typically think of them. But can I tell you, the people who get offended by seeing the abalones being cooked, they also don't have brains. So that is the abalone right here. We have the full shark fillet, and then on both sides, there's 2 different types of sashimi. There's one with the bone and one without the bone. So I'm just gonna grab a little piece and try it out. I found the bone tough. Flavor, it's a little bit like mineral-y type flavor. Nothing fishy or anything like that. I'm gonna try to eat this piece that has no bone. Wow, the meat is really tough. It's kind of like eating raw octopus. Let's put it in the red chili sauce. If you add some flavor to it, it's better. The sauce is spicy and savory, and then you have some nice meat to just kind of chew on, but that's about it. This isn't food to get you full by any means. This is food to kind of hang out, chill, drink 18 beers, 7 bottles of soju with a group of friends, and you all just like take little bites. All I'm missing is best friends. There is 1 food remaining in this video, but first we need to wait for the sun to go down. We have come to our next exotic seafood location right behind me, a restaurant specializing in shrimp, but not just any kind of shrimp. This place is called Dokdo Gotseu. Most of these shrimp here originate from the island of Dokdo. Dokdo is a very contentious island. Don't talk to any Korean person about it because they think they own it and the Japanese think they should own it. And if you're in Korea, just feel like that's definitely your guys's. I have no idea. I'm just gonna assume it is. They have 3 different types of shrimp I wanna show you. First, if you come look down here, this is what's known as the dakseyu. That literally translates to chicken shrimp. If you look hard enough, it kind of looks like some loose chicken hairs coming off its shrimp head. Up here, we have a couple more varieties that are mixed together. This is the gotseyu, the flower shrimp. It looks like a flower. But lurking amongst the flower shrimp are these gigantic shrimp with that big spiny crest on its helmet. That is known as a dohwaseyu. If you get them at the right time of year and break them open, they're gonna be full of either green or blue eggs. That's what we're looking for today. Next, we're gonna get the guy who works here, ask him to plunk out all those giant shrimp, cut them open, and see what's inside. 안녕하세요. 이름이 뭐예요?
진짜 한자 철자 신현철.
Well, that's a long name. Usually it's just 3 syllables. This is our fisherman fishing by hand, as you can see. I didn't know they made gloves that tall. Follow him, I don't know what's happening. So he's getting his stepping stool right here. My man has climbed up and oh my gosh, he's plucked one out already. That is massive and it's looking bluish, almost green on the inside. Look at those eggs. He's going in here. He doesn't have a ton of them, but they are hiding and he has to pluck them out one by one. Wow, look at that guy. Very active, doing sit-ups. I love that these shrimp are so active, unlike that king crab I got the other day that looked like it was halfway dead. All right, those are the shrimp right there. We're about to prepare them. Sadly, there is only one single shrimp that has eggs inside. Take a look at that, and you can see the individual eggs. I'm gonna be eating that in just a moment. Step number one, he rips it plumb in half. I'm looking in the head section over here. It doesn't seem that they enjoyed that, but this is kind of the quickest process to end their life. Wow, savage, but delicious looking at the same time. The next step is to peel the shell off of each one, but we're gonna keep it raw. So these right here are ready to eat. These here are destined for the fryer. As soon as they crisp up, we're gonna eat those too. Bye guys. Right here we have our food. I'm told there's a couple more things they're gonna bring. Ah yes, he's brought me a live shrimp that he's placing on top of my beer. 감사합니다. Oh, and they brought some crabs too. 이 서비스?
서비스.
Wow, 감사합니다. Well, service in Korea means something that's on the house. It's like they almost want to thank you for coming and for spending money. Well, why would they want to thank me for that? It might be because this plate, I just found out, costs over $200. The shrimp is very rare, it's difficult to obtain, and so that's why it is so expensive. What's unique about the look is that right from the shell, without being cooked, they actually look kind of cooked first. I want some beer, actually. You can hang out here. Just got it. Ah, nice. Now we're all comfortable. Here, the body. I'm gonna put that right here into the soy sauce. Oh, that's really good. How many shrimp do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's like $20 per shrimp. That's wild. We are not gonna let this go to waste. It just needs a little bit of... I did not see that coming. Put that right there. What else I want? What was I saying? The soy sauce gives it a little bit of salt, a little bit of savoriness. The texture of the meat is the best part. It is not sinewy. It's got bite to it, but it's tender and soft at the same time. There's a slight metallic flavor because it's raw. Fascinating and delicious. But we still have this to look forward to right here. So this is the only shrimp I told him not to crack open. I just turned it upside down and you can already see the eggs. They are bluish green, kind of aqua colored eggs. It looks awesome. So I'm gonna use a spoon and try to get as many of them out as I can. It's almost like a sheet connecting them all. Whoa. Let's get a little bit of soy sauce on there. Let's try it out. Shrimpy caviar. It's briny and kind of pop in your mouth. It's a really nice flavor. I love it. All right, I have the shrimp right here. I have the eggs. I'm gonna put on a little bit of soy sauce. This right here is a shrimp to remember. Let's go for it. There's like a little bit of brininess from the eggs, but overall, they taste fantastic. Right here, our final course, no eggs, but lots of head. We're not gonna actually eat the shell. We're supposed to rip it open and then eat what's inside. It's like taking the helmet off after a long day on the motorbike. Oh, take a look at that. That's like the biggest shrimp vein I've ever seen in my life. The rest looks good though. Cheers. Sweet, soft, and tender. It's like very fatty, fall apart type of shrimp. I gotta say, that raw shrimp is the best raw shrimp I've ever had in my life. The eggs were epic. Super expensive, super rare, strange, exotic, and delicious.
After spending $200 on shrimp, I could stand to save a few bucks. That's why I'm buying my next meal at a Korean baseball game. But wait, it's not what you think. American stadiums are known for ripping off patrons with $10 hot dogs and $15 beers. But here in Korea, big sports events offer amazing food at incredibly cheap prices. They even have a 7-Eleven inside the stadiums. Let's head inside now to see more.
What's wild is I see tons of people here with their own drink, beer, boxes of pizza and chicken. They're bringing all their own stuff actually into the game. I can't believe that's allowed. Scan in and we're good to go. So that is wild. We just went through a gate like going into a subway station. There's no security, there's no metal detector, there's no drug sniffing dogs. In the USA, there would just be a lot more hassle to get in. Right here is a stadium. It is quickly filling up right now, and this place is brightly lit up and highly populated with people. The game just started. We're gonna find our seat soon. First, I wanna get my first meal. Let's go. There are tons of food stalls here in different places to choose from. We've come to the first one that I've seen with a bunch of kind of traditional Korean street foods right here. They've got odang or fish cakes. Here they have tteokbokki with odang inside. Here they have some kind of a fried squid or octopus. Here they have octopus, and then here they have ojinga. This is squid. I'm ordering the fried squid. She's cutting it right now. And then she just asked me what kind of sauce I want. I asked for the garlic powder. I've ordered a cup of octopus. Oh, she gives me a container to put everything inside of. 감사합니다. Baseball is happening behind me, and all I care about is what's in front of me right here. This is my first course. At the last minute, I couldn't help it. I had to get one of these. This is a tteokbokki with odeng right here. This was 6,000. Let's start with that. This is a pounded rice cake. It almost looks like a marshmallow. It's so big and thick. Nice and chewy. Throw back some fish. Insanely salty, spicy, and delicious. I love it. This I believe to be octopus. A little seafoody in a good way. Nice and chewy. That's good drinking food. Finally, right here, it looks like some kind of a funnel cake covered in powdered sugar, but no, that is garlic powder on top of fried squid legs. It looks awesome. Oh yeah, insanely crunchy, chewy on the inside. It's salty and sweet at the same time. That's a really nice combination that I did not expect. Listen, you go to New York, you get powdered donuts. Come here to Korea, you get powdered squid. What I can say is all this is making me incredibly thirsty. Time to go grab a beer. If you've ever been to a stadium and thought they didn't have enough options, how about a whole freaking 7-Eleven in the stadium? Here, in the cooler, they have beer. Big tall boys, and check out the price on these. 3,000 won. $2.25 for a tall boy beer. That is a ridiculous price. You would pay at least 4 to 6 times that in the USA. Here, if you want to get drunk, you can get drunk. So let's get some of these. Check it out, we found another food right here. This looks awesome. This is jokbal. This is basically pig shanks. It looks delicious. I want to order that. And then right here, they even have blood sausage. This is called sundubu. Sundae. It's called sundae, not sundubu. Sundubu is a soup. jokbal 하나 주세요. 하고 sundae 하나 주세요. So the price of that is 23,000 won. Now comes the fun part where I actually try to find my seat. 322. Right here. Our second course is right here. This is like a whole freaking meal. Right here, we have our blood sausage. Put some spicy sauce in there too. Tell me, which American stadium has blood sausage? I'm gonna go with none of them. All right, here we go. Cheers. Wow, it's so gummy on the inside. That's so strange. It has a little bit of a funky, gamey taste, but not too bad. It's basically rice and blood on the inside with a pig intestine for the casing. Let's give it a little bit of a dip. Super salty, really spicy. That is beer food, my friend. Luckily, I've got a beer. So this is pig foot or pork trotter. They've given me a lot of stuff right here. Some pickled radish, a salad, samjang sauce, and then some chilies right here. This is what I really care about. It's already kind of cooled down. Heavy, fatty, really yummy. It's not really flavorful. It's just a nice texture and like a cold cut. But if you put on a chili, oh, I'm not putting that on. But if you put on some garlic, if you dip it in this sauce, that, my friend, is where you find the magic. Delicious. I never eat raw garlic except for when I'm in Korea, and I love it. My wife, not so much. What's fun about eating here and doing the show at a baseball game is I feel like everyone's cheering for me, like, come on, Sonny, drink more beer. Okay. It's amazing being delusional. I recommend it to everybody. From here, I'm gonna finish up this food. I'm gonna go inside, try to find some more. I'm worried that they're gonna cut off the food halfway through the game. It is kind of like halftime right now, and people have jetted out of the stadium to get more food and bring it back in. Right here, another food option, Lotteria. Here you can get an astounding amount of burgers. They have the bulgogi burger, they have the chicken burger, shrimp burger, fire wing chicken, and all of them at pretty reasonable prices. 안녕하세요, 새우 버거 하고 fire wing. So the total price for that is 17,700. That is for 10 wings and 1 burger. Everything is already pre-made. The food is right here. If they don't have it in that case, you don't get to have it. Yeah, so I'm done. First of all, take a look at this. This is a 새우 버거. That means shrimp burger. Shrimp burger, shrimp burger. Take a look inside. Tons of sauce, lettuce, and a fried shrimp patty. Let's go for it. It's a delicious mayonnaise-y fried shrimp patty. You can't even really tell it's shrimp. It just tastes like a fried hockey puck. Anything is good when you're surrounded by this much enthusiasm and when you have a little bit of a buzz. In Korea, all the baseball teams are named after big brands, LG, Samsung, Lotte. People are literally singing for Lotte. Imagine you're in the USA and you're singing, McDonald's, McDonald's. It's like that. Speaking of fast food, how about this chicken? These are the fire wings. Off the bat, I can tell you this chicken was cooked a long time ago. It's quite cold, and it feels like it's too wide, like the crunchy part has separated from the muscle. Let's try it out. Is it fiery? A little fiery. It's not crispy at all. A little bit soggy because it's been hanging out. Spicy, super salty, overall satisfying. I cannot believe I'm doing a food review while 10,000 people cheer and sing in unison. What am I doing? Why am I here? Anyways, let's get some more food. Right here, we have a new type of restaurant I've not seen yet. They have like a tofu, wet, sweet skin, and they stuff rice and different stuff inside of it. You can get tuna inside, you can get kimchi inside, you can get egg inside. I'm gonna go with tuna. 안녕하세요. 참치 마요 유부 하나 주세요. Oh, and he's gonna torch it. 3 pieces for 5,500. Yeah. 감사합니다. Check it out. Baseball is still happening. I'm still eating. I've not watched any of the game, if I'm honest, but the score is 2-1. Doosan is beating Lotte. Oh, come on, Lotte, you can do it. Anyways, right here, take a look at this. This beautiful, sweet, soft tofu skin. Used to encase what's inside here. We've got rice, and I asked for the tuna one, but I'm not sure if there's tuna in there. Let's find out. Right here, hard to see, but on the bottom, there's definitely tuna. It tastes like sweet, sugary rice mixed with canned tuna, because that's basically what it is, although I still love it. My only criticism is that this is not a drinking food. When you're drinking beer, you don't want to be eating pounds and pounds of rice. I gotta say, at this point though, I have done more walking and more exercise than these baseball players, because I am zooming all over the place trying to find the best food they have here. All right, I'm getting full. One more round, and then I'm done. I'm running out of space. I can't eat all this food, but I can show you food that exists here. We have Korean famous legendary corn dogs. It's like a corn dog covered in shake and bake seasoning. Very nice. And then they have a spiral cut potato that's also fried. All this costs around $2-3 each. Not bad at all, but we're not gonna eat that. So I have enough space for one more food in my stomach, and I'm going with this. This is a classic. Korean fried chicken with a Korean sauce glaze on top. It's spicy, it's sweet, it's delicious. And then this. This is tteokbokki and sausages, but it's been grilled and put on a skewer. Let's order up and eat. 안녕하세요. 이거 하나, 이거 하나. 감사합니다. Here they have a sauce station. We have like a cheese powder. We have ketchup, we have mustard, and then we have a chili sauce. I'm gonna put the chili on one of the chickens. I don't know if it's a mistake or not. And then I'm gonna put some here just in case. Beer 하나 주세요. Look, the beer taps have little baseballs on them. Isn't that fun? 감사합니다. God, after a long day, I love apple juice. So good. One more? I should go. This is gonna get dangerous. We have our final course right here. I'm so excited because after this, I get to actually watch the baseball game. First of all, here, grilled sausage and tteokbokki, already clad in sauce. Look at these little Korean wieners. You can feel it's been there for a while, but you can also feel that you don't care because it's delicious. What I like the most here is tteokbokki. Tteokbokki is so versatile in Korea. They can grill it, they can boil it, they can sear it. It's so simple, but all the best things in life are simple. You don't need truffle and French infusions, emulsions. That's what you need. Our last and final food is right here. Now this is the one I squirted extra sauce on. You have fried chicken and you have fried tteokbokki in here. Cheers. It's crunchy, it's mushy, it's chewy, it's such a satisfying texture. Guys, do yourself a favor. Go to your local Asian grocery store, buy these pounded rice cakes, put them in your food in some way, and you'll be very satisfied. Finally, here, we have this sauced up glazed chicken. It's fried, it's glorious. It's been sitting around for hours. That chicken is just like Steven Seagal. It's a bit stale, it's not crunchy anymore, but the heart is still there. It still knows Jeet Kune Do. It could still probably kick your ass in a fight. I lost the analogy somewhere.
Well guys, that's the whole Busan South Korea series. I hope you enjoy it, and to be honest, I don't think anyone watches this far into the video. So if you're hearing this now, I'll send $100 to the first person who DMs me on Instagram with the message, Sunny's bandana is definitely not a distraction. Thanks everyone else who survived to the end, and I'll see you next time. A peace.
Guys, before we go, I want to say a huge thank you to Joe right here. Without Joe, this trip would not have been possible. He has facilitated this whole shoot from beginning to end in all the locations we went to. So Joe, thank you so much. You can find more information on Joe here at Wandering Bicycle on YouTube and on Instagram. More information about Busan travel and delicious food that you can find here. Thank you so much, Joe. Peace. All right. It feels good to say it, right? Yeah. Satisfying. Joe hates my show. Yeah.
Elevate your style with our brand new clothing collection. Rock out in our threads, feel the thrill of culinary adventures, and celebrate with us in style. Head on over to beffers.shop today.